is Crystal with Pineapple Papers, and today I have a twofer. So I'm doing Crafty IQ, so I'm kind of showing you the 7 items. I did it before the twist, so I don't actually know what the twist is, so there's a good chance I didn't follow along. So it's also Saturday, so Saturday means may I scrap lift you. So I took all of the items and this amazing layout from Karen, I think it's Lee. Well, it's Leah with a Y, so I'm not sure how to say it, so I'm not going to. She is on the Dottie About Flair design team, and I loved this layout. So it's kind of an off-grid layout, which is one of the items for the Crafty IQ. So I definitely want to make sure that I point out that it's not your typical grid, which would basically be 4 areas. So this has 4 areas, they're just not equal in size. I think that's kind of what we think of when we think of a grid, or at least that's kind of what I think of. So the first piece of the Crafty IQ challenge is you have to start with a yellow background. So I have this yellow grid paper, which initially I was like, it's technically on grid paper. So if you don't agree that this is kind of a wonky grid layout, we'll go with the grid as the background paper as well. So I got that. I'm not sure where it comes from. Yeah, I don't know where this paper is from. But that's okay. So I can tell you that card up at the top is from a Vicki Boutin collection. This kind of hexagon pattern blue paper that I cut into the banner. I don't know where that one's from either. Just from my stash. We're gonna go with that. That's where it's from. It's from my stash. So she has 2 landscape photos, and I have a portrait and landscape photo, but I thought it would work just as well. The area with the banners is just going to not be as noticeable. So that's what I kind of went with. Her third block of the grid is like a cut apart card, which is what I'm doing, and then the 4th part would be that banner. So for Crafty IQ, I got the yellow background, the grid. Number 3 is acrylic or resin, so I pulled out all my Bramble Fox goodies, and I'm gonna go with this Happy Days acrylic title piece as my title, and I'm gonna put that on top of the banners. I did add an extra dark blue banner just on the bottom area. So in her layout, she's got a little bit of a secondary banner on the top, but mine's on the bottom. And then number 4 is fussy cutting. So you can see off to the right there, I fussy cut out some cameras from an Amy Tan paper. Number 5 is buttons, which I do have my yellow and blue buttons up there at the top. Number 6 is your to mat your photos in black, which is one of the first things that I did. And then the last thing is ribbon. So down there at the bottom, I have some ribbon that I have to keep in view so I don't forget. So I kind of have basically the design of the layout because I am following Karen so closely. And so I feel like I can adhere everything down. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to do that. The back of that blue hexagon paper has a bunch of cameras on it as well, and they're kind of grayish, which would be perfect to fussy cut as well, which I did contemplate doing that, but I really liked the ones from Amy Tan. So I'm going to get my grid set up and all glued down. Now I have a couple of these rub-ons, and they are old, like really old, for baseball. And I have almost used them up, but I still have more. So I need to remember them when I do some more baseball photos, because I think I might only have a few left from last season, and baseball doesn't start till March, so I've got some time before I'll have any new baseball photos. So in my stash, I pulled out, I think they're LA Studio puffy stickers, and I just pulled some, I guess they're plus signs. I pulled those out. And then I realized that I kind of made my grid more to the right. And in Karen's layout, she has this beautiful like layers on the sides and what looks to be mixed media at the top. I think it's actually a pattern paper, but I am going to try and mimic a little bit of that by putting this plus sign paper on the side, and I did rough it up with my edge distresser, and that is the other side of the camera paper. So at least I get a little bit of the inspiration onto one side. I didn't have enough room to put it on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and stick down my title, because I know that's where I want it, and it's not going to go anywhere. So I use Nouveau Deluxe adhesive as my liquid glue. To stick that down, I'm going to stick down my fussy cut cameras, and then the last thing I have to get on is ribbon and buttons. So I noticed that in Karen's layout, she had a couple of extra banners underneath her bottom picture, and I decided to cut several pieces of ribbon, and I am going to use that as the banners. So I stick a line of Nouveau Deluxe adhesive underneath the photo, and then I'm just going to alternate the blue polka dot and the white striped ribbon at varying heights and apply those underneath that photo. So that's going to act like those banners. And I love how that looks. I don't have a ton of ribbon. I used to have a ton of ribbon. I used to use lots and lots of ribbon, but I'm finding that I don't use it as much as I used to. So I'm going to dig into my buttons. I'm going to pull out some yellow and blue ones, and I get 3 of those on. So here I am just double checking that, yes, I got everything that I needed for the Crafty IQ challenge. So I will have listed down below not only a link to Karen's Instagram, so you can head over there and give her some love. I will also have a list of everybody who is playing along with May I Scraplift You, as well as those who are playing along with the Crafty IQ. There is a Facebook group, and the challenge basically starts the first day of the month, and you get prompts or parts of the recipe every day for the first 7 days. And then Jackie will come on and give us a twist. So no twist for me this month unless miraculously I have it. So I decided to add one more of those rub-ons. It says baseball. I'm going to put that on the top. And I felt like it just evened it out. Now, because Karen's paper kind of looks mixed media-ish, I decided to take some Distress ink in prize ribbon and just put it all the way around the yellow cardstock. And I think that kind of like holds it all in. So it's kind of like doing a sketchy border without doing a sketchy border. And then I'm going to add a little bit of pin detailing with this white Uniball pin. I think that's what it is. And I am terrible at faux stitching, but I am also not great at real stitching. So I think it just matches how I work. So I'm going to put that on the two blue areas. And that is going to do it. I am going to call that good. And I have his baseball pictures from last year documented, so I'll be ready for this year's when he has that done, because it'll be last year because he's a senior. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here are a couple close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out everybody down below. Leave me a comment if you'd like to chat, and remember to wear your crown. We'll see you next time. Bye.